Linda Evangelista. There's a famous line many people still remember: she wouldn't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day. That was the confidence and power of Linda Evangelista, one of the most celebrated supermodels of the 1990s. With her sculpted cheekbones, flawless skin, and commanding runway presence, she dominated the fashion world and appeared on countless covers of Vogue. For years, she represented the very definition of high fashion beauty. But decades later, the same woman who once defined an era of glamour found herself facing an unexpected and deeply personal struggle. In 2015 and 2016, Evangelista underwent several sessions of cool sculpting, a non-surgical treatment advertised as a simple way to reduce stubborn fat. Like many people seeking subtle improvements rather than drastic surgery, she trusted the procedure's promise of safety and convenience. Instead, Evangelista developed a rare complication known as paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, PAH. Rather than shrinking fat cells, the treatment caused them to enlarge and harden in the very areas she hoped to slim, such as her chin, thighs, and chest. Though the condition affects only a small fraction of patients, the results can be dramatic and difficult to correct. Evangelista later underwent multiple corrective procedures, but the physical and emotional toll was profound. For a long time, she stepped away from the public eye, choosing privacy over the spotlight that once followed her everywhere. Her story has since become a powerful reminder that even widely promoted cosmetic treatments can carry risks. For many admirers who remember her golden years on the runway, Evangelista remains not just a fashion legend, but also a symbol of honesty about the pressures of aging in an industry that often demands perfection. Rinna. Long before the dramatic moments of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the viral headlines that followed her every move, Rinna had already made a decision that would define her public image for decades. It wasn't a storyline on television, it was her lips. In the late 1980s, when she was still a young actress trying to make her mark in Hollywood, Rinna chose to enhance her lips with silicone injections. Inspired in part by the glamorous, full-lipped look popular in films like Beaches, she wanted something bold, memorable, and undeniably feminine. And for a while, she achieved exactly that. Her lips quickly became her signature. Long before the social media beauty era and the rise of celebrities like Kylie Jenner, Rinna's dramatically full lips were already one of the most recognizable features on television. Fans saw them during her years on daytime soaps and later in Hollywood appearances, and they became inseparable from her persona. But cosmetic trends and cosmetic procedures don't always age gracefully. Over time, the silicone in Rinna's lips began to harden and form scar tissue, creating lumps that changed their shape and texture. What had once been a daring beauty choice gradually became a source of concern. More than 2 decades later, Rinna sought help from a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon to remove some of the silicone and repair the damaged tissue. By then, however, the changes could not be completely undone. Over the years, she also experimented with other procedures, including fillers and Botox, in the ongoing effort many performers face to maintain a youthful appearance. Eventually, Rinna spoke openly about her experience, acknowledging that some enhancements didn't suit her as well as she once believed. Her story now serves as a reminder that even the most confident beauty decisions can come with lasting consequences. Joan Van Ark. For millions of television viewers in the 1970s and 1980s, Joan Van Ark was the warm and familiar face of the lean Ewing on the hit series Knots Landing. With her soft features, expressive eyes, and natural charm, she became one of the most recognizable actresses on American television. Audiences welcomed her into their living rooms week after week, and her gentle, emotional performances helped define the show's long-running success. But as the years passed and Hollywood's pressure to remain youthful intensified, Van Ark, like many performers of her generation, began turning to cosmetic procedures in hopes of preserving the look that fans remembered. What likely began with relatively modest adjustments eventually grew into a series of increasingly noticeable changes. Reports and public appearances over the years suggested that she had undergone procedures such as a rhinoplasty, eyelid surgery, and several facelifts. Along the way, treatments like chemical peels and injections, such as Botox, also became part of the effort to maintain a smooth and youthful complexion. By the early 2000s, however, many longtime viewers began to notice how dramatically her appearance had evolved. Her skin appeared unusually tight, her features more sculpted than before, and her once soft expressions seemed less natural on camera. When Van Ark appeared at anniversary gatherings celebrating Knots Landing, some fans were surprised by how different she looked compared with the actress they remembered from the show's early years. Despite the public discussion surrounding her appearance, Joan Van Ark remains an important part of television history. For many loyal viewers, her legacy is still tied to the heartfelt performances that made her a beloved figure during one of television's most memorable eras. The Duchess of Alba. Few figures in modern European history carried as many noble titles as Maria del Rosario Cayetana Fitz-James Stuart, better known as the Duchess of Alba. As the 18th holder of one of Spain's most historic aristocratic houses, she inherited centuries of wealth, palaces, and prestige. For decades, the Duchess was also a regular subject of European society pages, admired for her lively personality and distinctive aristocratic charm. Yet, as the years passed, the Duchess, like many public figures living under constant attention, became increasingly interested in cosmetic treatments that promised to preserve youth. Beginning in the late 20th century, she reportedly underwent several aesthetic procedures, including facelifts, rhinoplasty, and injectable treatments such as Botox. At the time, these procedures were gaining popularity among wealthy socialites who hoped to slow the visible signs of aging. Over the years, however, her appearance changed dramatically. The delicate features seen in photographs from her younger days gradually gave way to a face that appeared unusually tight and altered. By the 2000s, the transformation had become widely discussed in European media and among the public. In 2011, when the Duchess married civil servant Alfonso Diaz Carabantes, 24 years her junior, at the age of 85, the wedding drew worldwide attention. Many headlines focused not only on the surprising romance, but also on how strikingly different she looked from the aristocrat people remembered from earlier decades. Some observers also speculated that underlying medical issues, including the rare condition Melkerson-Rosenthal syndrome, may have contributed to the swelling in her facial features. Regardless of the causes, the Duchess of Alba remained a fascinating figure. An aristocrat who lived boldly, loved scandalously, and refused to quietly fade from the public stage. Toya Jackson. As a member of one of the most famous families in entertainment, Toya Jackson grew up in the spotlight. The fifth child of the iconic Jackson family, she first stepped into public view during the rise of her siblings, including her legendary brother Michael Jackson. In the early 1980s, Toya began building her own career as a singer and television personality, presenting a distinctive look that helped her stand apart from the rest of the family. At that time, she was known for her bright smile, soft facial features, and glamorous stage presence. But as the years went on, fans and media outlets began noticing gradual changes in her appearance. Like many performers working in an image-driven industry, Toya reportedly turned to cosmetic procedures in an effort to maintain a polished and youthful look. Throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, speculation grew that she had undergone several aesthetic treatments, including rhinoplasty procedures that gradually altered the shape of her nose. Observers also believed she had experimented with other enhancements such as cheek implants, eyelid surgery, and injectable treatments including Botox and dermal fillers. Over time, these cumulative changes gave her a more sculpted and tightly defined appearance, quite different from the natural features she displayed early in her career. By the 2000s, the transformation had become a frequent topic in celebrity media and among longtime fans who remembered her original look from decades earlier. Despite the constant scrutiny surrounding her appearance, Toya Jackson has remained a recognizable figure in pop culture, continuing to perform, appear on television, and represent one of the most talked-about families in music history. Dolly Parton. Few entertainers have embraced their image with as much humor and honesty as Dolly Parton. For decades, the Queen of Country has joked openly about her glamorous appearance, once delivering the famous line, "It takes a lot of money to look this cheap." Rather than hiding behind secrecy, Parton has always approached beauty and aging with a playful wink, turning what might have been controversy into part of her legendary charm. Rising to fame in the 1970s and 1980s with timeless hits like Jolene and I Will Always Love You, Parton quickly became known not only for her powerful voice, but also for her unmistakable style: big blonde hair, sparkling outfits, and bold makeup. Over time, she openly acknowledged that maintaining that signature look sometimes involved cosmetic procedures. Parton has candidly spoken about undergoing treatments such as breast augmentation, eyelid surgery, facelifts, and other enhancements, explaining that she simply wants her outside to match the lively spirit she feels inside. She has also joked that if something begins to sag, bag, or drag, she's not afraid to nip it, tuck it, or suck it. By the time she entered her 60s, Dolly had fully embraced her larger-than-life persona, part country superstar, part glittering stage character. Yet unlike many celebrities whose transformations spark criticism or regret, Parton's honesty has made her story different. Fans see not just the glamorous image, but the humor, humility, and warmth behind it. In the end, Dolly Parton remains exactly what she has always been: a brilliant entertainer who turned her unique look into a symbol of confidence, proving that authenticity and laughter can shine brighter than any cosmetic procedure. Goldie Hawn. For decades, Goldie Hawn was one of Hollywood's brightest and most beloved stars. With her infectious laugh, sparkling eyes, and effortless charm, she captured audiences beginning in the late 1960s and continued winning hearts through hit films like Private Benjamin and Overboard. Her warm, natural beauty and playful personality made her seem like a burst of sunshine on the screen. But as the years passed and Hollywood's expectations for youthful appearances remained relentless, many fans began noticing changes in Hawn's look. When she appeared at the Academy Awards in 2014, the public reaction was immediate. Viewers remarked that her face appeared fuller, with smoother skin, plumper cheeks, and a noticeably tighter jawline than in earlier years. While Hawn has never publicly detailed every cosmetic procedure she may have had, media outlets and cosmetic specialists speculated that treatments such as dermal fillers, facelifts, and injections like Botox could have contributed to the changes. These types of procedures have become increasingly common in the entertainment industry, particularly for performers who spent much of their lives under the bright lights of Hollywood. For longtime fans who remember her early performances, the difference was striking. The carefree girl-next-door charm that once defined her look seemed somewhat altered by the smoother, more sculpted appearance she displayed in later public appearances. Still, Goldie Hawn's legacy extends far beyond appearance. Her comedic timing, warmth, and enduring screen presence have made her a lasting figure in American film history, one whose laughter and spirit remain just as memorable as the roles that first made audiences fall in love with her. Pixie Fox. In the mid-2000s, Swedish model and internet personality Pixie Fox captured global attention with an unusual and highly controversial goal. She wanted to transform her body to resemble a living cartoon character. Inspired by the exaggerated proportions seen in animated figures, Fox began a dramatic physical transformation that quickly made headlines around the world. Around 2015, she focused intensely on reducing her waistline. Through strict corset training, wearing a corset for many hours a day, her waist reportedly shrank to an extraordinary 18 inches. For Fox, however, that milestone was only the beginning. Determined to push the boundaries of body modification even further, she underwent a rare and widely debated procedure to remove several ribs in order to create a more extreme hourglass silhouette. Before that step, Fox had already undergone numerous cosmetic procedures. Over the years, she documented treatments such as rhinoplasty surgeries, breast augmentation, lip and cheek fillers, thigh liposuction, and injections like Botox. She also reported having a Brazilian butt lift to further exaggerate her curves. By her own estimates, the cost of these transformations exceeded £200,000. Fox has often described her transformation not as an attempt to meet conventional beauty standards, but as a personal form of artistic expression. The surgeries, recovery periods, and public scrutiny became part of a larger journey of self-identity. Whether viewed as extreme body modification or bold self-expression, Pixie Fox's story sparked global debate about beauty ideals, personal freedom, and how far someone might go in pursuit of a vision of themselves. Kenny Rogers. For generations of country music fans, Kenny Rogers was the voice of storytelling and heartfelt emotion. With classics like The Gambler and Lucille, Rogers built a legendary career that spanned decades. His silver beard, gentle smile, and unmistakable voice became part of the identity that fans across America knew and loved. But like many entertainers who spent a lifetime in the spotlight, Rogers eventually felt the pressure that comes with aging in a highly visible industry. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, he decided to undergo cosmetic procedures in hopes of maintaining a more youthful appearance. Among the treatments he later discussed publicly were a facelift and eyelid surgery. The results, however, were not what he had hoped for. Fans quickly noticed the changes in his appearance, particularly around his eyes, which appeared tighter and less natural than before. Rogers himself later acknowledged that the outcome wasn't ideal. In interviews, he admitted that the eyelid surgery had been especially disappointing and that he wished he had approached the decision more cautiously. Despite the regrets about his appearance, Rogers' musical legacy never faded. His warm baritone voice, emotional storytelling, and timeless songs continued to resonate with audiences around the world. When Kenny Rogers passed away in 2020, many fans remembered not the cosmetic changes, but the remarkable career he built over 6 decades. In the end, his story served as a reminder that while appearances may change, true artistry and a beloved voice can endure far longer than any cosmetic procedure.